Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a fantabulous couple in love that loves reacting to some Final Fantasy.
Ooh, we're fantabulous.
Yes, we are. And so we're checking out 10 kick-ass Final Fantasy summons by Watch Mojo. The actual name of the actual title of the video by Watch Mojo is Top 10 Fantasy Summons. But I feel like Top 10 is very it's arbitrary. And everyone has their own different top 10 fantasy summons. And it's not our top 10, but these got to kick ass. So that's why I figured 10 Final Fantasy kick ass summons was just a better title for it.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want all of our Final Fantasy reactions, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you.
And if you want to make sure you never miss anything, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and then, while you're there, maybe like the video.
Call them Aeons, call them Espers, call them Guardian Forces, but these creatures are among the most powerful allies in the Final Fantasy universe. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Final Fantasy summons. For this list, we're ranking the most powerful and effective summons in the Final Fantasy franchise, while also taking into account fan favorite summons and those who make multiple platform appearances throughout the series. Number 10, Phoenix.
Nice.
Yeah.
The first summon on our list is literally and figuratively a rare bird, a summoned creature which heals the party while also taking on their foes.
Fox's tears heal.
Indeed, Phoenix's Flames of Rebirth possesses the power to revive fallen allies, while at the same time dealing some scorching fire damage to enemy hordes. The Phoenix Down feathers are also known throughout the Final Fantasy franchise as inventory items which resurrect the dead, making the impact of this summoned creature one which is felt throughout the Final Fantasy universe. Number 9, Rama.
Rama Ding Dong?
All hail the god of thunder. This badass summon takes the appearance of a wizened yet regal old man with a long beard and staff. Appearances can be deceiving, however, for Rama possesses the power of thunder and lightning at his fingertips, assisting the party via his powerful attack known as Judgment Bolt.
Good name. Judgment Bolt, sweet.
Rama has kept pretty much the same appearance throughout his time in the Final Fantasy universe, making him one of the mainstay elemental summons which assist players during the series.
For
I know now.
the thunder ability in Kingdom Hearts.
I know why the tales are told.
Number 8, Leviathan. This Lord of the Seas exists as one of the most venerable Final Fantasy summons. Leviathan takes the appearance of a giant sea serpent, one whose tsunami wave attack proves most effective against enemies of fiery or mechanical origin. This Ocean Guardian hasn't always been on the player's side, however, as his first appearance in the Final Fantasy franchise included swallowing the whole party, before eventually becoming an ally to summoner characters in the later game entries. Number 7, Alexander.
I am the air, EX&D.
Talk about impressive. Depending on which Final Fantasy game one plays, the casting animation for this summoned creature can take quite some time before its full fury can be unleashed. The immense mobile fortress known as Alexander is worth it though, as this gigantic summon casts Divine Judgment, which deals heavy holy damage to all it hits. This makes Alexander a particularly worthy ally to have when facing down undead or otherwise unholy enemies, while the summon's supreme stature makes him one of the most visually impressive creatures you've seen in the series. Number 6, Ifrit.
Ooh, he looks fierce.
Yeah.
A classic never goes out of style. Ifrit might just be the closest thing to a reliable old friend in the summoning world, a fearsome god of fire which has been an integral part of the Final Fantasy bestiary for many years. Ifrit possesses an appearance similar to that of an Arabian jinn, or genie, albeit with large demonic horns and a penchant for tossing down massive fireballs from the sky upon the party's enemies. The presence of this summon is always welcomed whenever players are pitted against creatures of ice and snow, while this summon's legacy as one of the first castable allies acquired by the party makes him one whose reliable reputation is safe and secure. Number 5, Anima. The next summon on our list reminds us more of something out of the Hellraiser franchise, rather than anything remotely related to the worlds of fantasy or magic. Anima's summon animation is almost as horrific as her appearance, as this shackled and howling mistress of pain is raised up via chains from the underworld in what can only be described as one of the most badass summoning sequences in Final Fantasy history. Anima's attack is even more devastating, as her overdrive attack envelops enemies into her netherworld, where she snaps free of her chains and assaults enemies with unlimited power.
Oh, sweet.
That's what we call sharing the pain. Number 4, Shiva. Don't let this summon's delicate looks and grace deceive you, for Shiva the Ice Queen is not a creature with which to be trifled.
I thought Shiva would have been a dragon.
Shiva's elemental attacks of Diamond Dust and Heavenly Strike are tailor-made to be utilized against any fiery horde, making her the yin to Ifrit's yang. She's also one of the most commonly encountered summons throughout the Final Fantasy franchise, having appeared in nearly every Final Fantasy outing since the 3rd game. Number 3, Knights of the Round. This immensely powerful summon attack calls up not 1, not 2, not even 3 allies to assist the party, but 13 Arthurian knights, who come together to deal massive damage to any enemy unfortunate enough to be caught standing in the general vicinity. Each knight attacks with its own unique weapons and spells, with the final attack arriving in the form of King Arthur himself, armed with a mythical sword Excalibur.
Nice.
Yeah.
This story gets a little twist in the 14th installment of the Final Fantasy franchise, however, where the player is actually pitted against the knights during the game's final climactic battle.
There's so much going on right there.
And his Knights of Heaven's Ward.
Welcome to our round table, bitch.
Number 2, Odin.
Ooh. You can freaking summon Odin?
Many summons from the Final Fantasy universe take their names or origins from world mythology. Odin is no exception to this idea, existing as one of the series' most popular and enduring characters. Odin usually appears as a giant imposing figure, similar to his stature as the All-Father of Norse mythology. He is clad in armor, a horned helmet, and rides a multi-legged steed by the name of Sleipnir, upon which both his sword and lance Gungnir are mounted.
Okay, he's
Odin's
freaking
summon
awesome.
attack Sentetsuken has the power to inflict instant death upon the party's opponents, making him one of the most impressive and effective summons to ever grace a Final Fantasy screen.
Yeah, instant death? Sure.
Before we call up our top summon, here are a few honorable mentions.
Carbuncle? Okay.
Oh, that looks cool.
Fat chocolate.
Bahamut.
It's a giant peep. Oh, yeah.
We saved the best for last, of course. That being the fearsome king of the dragons, the mighty Bahamut.
Bah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, he's the best,
This
for
summon
sure.
has existed as a fan favorite throughout many games in the Final Fantasy franchise, even receiving its own game for the Japanese Super Famicom, Bahamut Lagoon, in 1996. A Acquiring Bahamut is never an easy task, however, often requiring the party to best the beast in battle before the Dragon King will be able to be summoned.
So please, fight with us.
Once achieved, however, Bahamut's Mega Flare attack more than proves its worth by inflicting defense-penetrating non-elemental damage against which very few enemies can survive.
Yeah, I don't know who's
Yeah.
On
that.
our list,
Feel my pain. Come, anima.
which Final Fantasy summon do you think deserves our top spot? For more Mega Top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Pretty much feels like you chose a good one.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Looks like a decent top 10 to me, having never played the games before. All right, so what'd you think?
So I think it's safe to say that outside of, well, I think it's safe to say that we would both choose Bahamut as an obvious
Yes.
winner for the top 10 spot.
Yes, agreed.
So I'm curious as to who outside of
Ooh.
that character,
That was my question to you. You can't steal my question to you.
you would choose.
So my top 3, Bahamut, number 1. I think he was right. Again, Odin is number 2. Ifrit is number 3 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Rage Demon right away. Yeah. So that looked cool to me. And like it's just hurling meteors or like fireballs down at people. That was awesome.
So Bahamut's the easy first place. Yeah. So outside of that, my 3 picks would be.
Ooh, outside of so I have to pick another person. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I guess you did say that outside of it, and I picked that as a top 3. But anyways, I screwed up. So why don't you give your top 3?
See, ladies, your husband will not always listen to you in those detailed instructions. So this is one of those learning experiences. Outside of Bahamut.
That was well deserved. That was well deserved.
I'm sorry, you teed it up so well that like I'm like I can't let this not.
Yeah. There's a Bethany wife lesson for you. I give life lessons. She gives wife lessons.
There you go. I would say King Arthur, which is one because it looked badass. You get the Knights of the Round.
Yeah.
But then 2 because it's always been without question probably like my favorite childhood legend, folklore, fairy tale, like that takes the cake for me. That's my preferred one. And then Shiva and Ifrit, because I loved the description of Shiva being the yin to Ifrit's yang or vice versa. Those 2 together on your team would be pretty freaking powerful.
And see, Shiva's would have been my number 3.
Well, there you go then.
There you go.
So we just differ on King Arthur and Odin. But otherwise, we're pretty in line.
I mean, that makes sense. We usually are pretty in line with these kind of things. You'll let us know what your top 3 Final Fantasy summons are, even the ones that aren't listed in this video. You can let us know what your top 3 Final Fantasy summons are down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Final Fantasy reactions, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you.
Because we make it easy.
Yeah! Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for 10 kick-ass Final Fantasy summons. But just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.